Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Sam, and I am a massive Dallas Cowboys fan. And so I'm going to start putting out some videos about my opinions on what we should be doing. Draft's coming up in literally 1 week, and so I'm pumped. I've done a lot of research, and I kind of know how I want to build the team. Now, whether the coaches and the Cowboys actually agree with me, probably not. But I love having these conversations. So as I'm going through this and as I'm giving you my opinions and seeing where this kind of draft, based on other mock drafts, are falling, please throw some comments down below. I'd love to have a conversation. I love this topic. The draft is one of the most exciting things about football. So as you can see, I'm on NFL.com. Daniel Jeremiah posted this draft, mock draft, a couple days ago, and I was actually just saw a video on it, and I got to the part where the Cowboys picked, and I did not like the pick. So since this is Cowboys focused, I'm going to talk about like the picks coming up to the Dallas Cowboys. I'm going to talk about the Dallas Cowboys pick, why I didn't like it, what better options were on the table at that point, and then I'm probably going to stop. I'm not going to finish the rest. I actually kind of liked most of the picks out there after that. So, first pick is by the Browns, Sam Darnold. I like that pick. I think he's the best quarterback in this draft. Personally, that's who I'm going with. Second pick is Saquon Barkley. I hope that this is the pick. I do not think this is what the Giants will do. I don't think they're that dumb. I'm not a big Saquon Barkley fan. I'm just not. Yeah, I'm obviously a Dallas Cowboy fan, so I'm a little biased, but I actually like Zeke better as a runner. I prefer the downhill, blow him up running back versus the scat. I can make you miss juke move running back. Give me Zeke every day over this. If the Giants do this, they still don't have an offensive line to run the ball or to protect Eli Manning. So I think a quarterback here or even an offensive lineman would be a much better choice. I think they're actually in a great place to trade back. But if this is the pick, so be it. Just picking a quarterback makes a lot of sense there. The Browns' fourth pick is Bradley Chubb. I've seen some people mock Saquon Barkley here, or even other people. I think Bradley Chubb has to be your pick. Having two dynamic pass rushers on both sides of the defense, and Ogba, you can even throw one of your defensive ends on a guard. You could have a massive pass rush. I think this makes them a killer defense, a defense to be nervous with off the bat. This has to be your fourth pick. It just has to be. If the Giants don't take Bradley Chubb, the Jets, I don't see doing it. So this has to be your pick. Broncos, Josh Allen makes a lot of sense for a quarterback there. I don't know about Josh Allen. I'm not as big of a fan as a lot of people are on him. The Colts taking Denzel Ward, I don't see it happening. You could do it. I do agree. He's the best cornerback in the draft, is what I've seen. But the Colts have so many areas, so many issues, and I think they would do a lot better drafting a defensive tackle or an offensive tackle or an offensive lineman. In my opinion, that's where you start when you're building a team. You start there and you build out, except for obviously the quarterback. Buccaneers taking Quentin Nelson makes a ton of sense right here. They had a lot of problems guarding Jameson Winston. You got to give him more time to throw him. He has tons of weapons, and he just didn't have the time to throw it to him. So this makes a lot of sense here. Jermaine Edmonds makes a lot of sense with the Bears, trying to build out that legendary defense again. This is a great pick to do that. Roquan Smith to San Francisco. I'm not a big fan of this, mostly because I'm a massive Roquan Smith, and I wanted to fall to 19 somehow. Not that it's not going to happen, but I can. Dreams do come true sometimes, guys. But yes, this is definitely has to be your pick if you're looking to bolster that defense. This is a great pick. I also could see Denzel Ward, if he falls there, to be on the other side of Richard Sherman, and Mika Fitzpatrick, I think would be a great pick also here. But either way, great pick. Raiders with Mika Fitzpatrick makes a lot of sense. Dolphins with Vita Vea. Now that Sue's gone, got to get that again, the center of your defense back. I think it's a great pick. Josh Rosen at Buffaloes. I think it's a good pick. I don't see Josh Rosen falling this far, but if he does, I don't think the Bills can really choose anything else besides this. Again, the quarterback is the center of your team. If you can't, you're not going to win anything unless you have an above average quarterback, in my opinion. So, Redskins, Darius Joyce. Am I saying that right? Yeah. So I think this makes a lot of sense in the idea that you want to give Alex Smith some weapons to choose from. He had a good running back, and at the Chiefs, and so in Kansas City. So this makes a lot of sense. Throwing a running back. It doesn't make sense in the aspect of this is a heavy running back class. There's tons of running backs. And so I think you could do more damage throwing another, cornerback or a safety or, a pass rusher. I think there's a lot more options here for the Redskins. Not that I don't mind this. Go running back if you have to. If you don't have the rest of the pieces behind to make it a dynamic, team, then I think you're misstepping the process. But I think they would do a lot better if they actually just went with a defensive strong player at this point. Green Bay is going Marcus Davenport. I think this is I think this could be a pick potentially. I think Harold Landry is the better of the two pass rushers here. But I have seen a lot of people saying that they like Marcus Davenport better. So it really just depends on which pie you like eating. Green Bay needs a lot of help in their secondary. And the best way to help your secondary is to have a dynamic pass rush. So I can see this happening. Cardinals with Calvin Ridley. So the best wide receiver is officially off the board. I see this actually happening. I've seen a lot of drafts where Lamar Miller is picked here. I think that's a terrible idea. I'm not a Lamar Miller fan. Name me a quarterback that was successful that couldn't pass. I'm just not a big fan of it. I don't care how good your character is or how much you want it. If you can't pass, think of Tim Tebow. That's a great character, right? He worked harder than most people. He was a great guy. He just didn't have the arm. I just don't think Lamar Miller is a pick here. Calvin Ridley makes sense for the Cardinals. So Baltimore taking Hayden Hurst. Yeah, give Flacco some more weapons. He needs some good weapons to throw to. He's got a rocket of a arm. Hayden Hurst is great at blocking, route running, catching. I think he's one of the best tight ends, if not the best tight end in the draft. This is a great pick. Take it. Chargers taking Derwin James. The fact that Derwin James is still on the board at 17 blows my mind. And I personally want to be, if I'm the Cowboys right here, I've already traded up from Baltimore to grab Derwin James or Harold Landry personally. Because they can get Hayden Hurst at 19. So that makes sense if you want to trade up. But, the Chargers taking Derwin James, I think this makes a lot of sense. Although, personally, I would go ahead and draft a offensive tackle or offensive lineman. They need a lot of help to protect their quarterback, and so I think this is a possibility. Although I think offensive lineman is a bigger need, in my opinion. But I can also see them trading back. Same with Seahawks taking Harold Landry. He's definitely the best player on the board at this moment, and this is a great pick. But the Seahawks don't have a second or a third round pick. So, this makes a lot of sense to trade back to gain more picks. And so, we've talked about trading, our second rounder to the Seahawks for Earl Thomas. And I can make another video on that. I don't think that's a good idea. But I think this is a good pick. So we come to the Cowboys. Here it is. This is where I make my money. Although I'm making no money from this. I'm just having fun. I think Courtland Sutton is a terrible pick right here. The Cowboys didn't let Dez Bryant go because of money. They let him go for various different reasons. maybe to use that money. If they're gonna let him go for that money to save some money, they better go use that money. Otherwise, they should have just left well enough alone and let this play out. We talked about Alan Hearns being a similar wide receiver to Des Bryant. So at this point, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to draft Des Bryant when Alan Hearns feels like a Des Bryant. And so I don't even think he's the best wide receiver, here on the board at the moment. And so what I did is um, I I listed a couple positions and players that I think are better options to make the choice. I'm a big believer in defense. The statistics on when Lee is out of the game and us um, losing is significant. When he's in the game, we have a significant better chance of winning. I think linebacker is our biggest need, but I'm also a big believer that you build your offense and your defensive line first, and then you build everything else. So my picks are Leighton Vander Esch. I think is a great option right here. Rashaan Evans would be actually my personal option. I think he's a more physical player. I like him better, but either way would be good picks. Deron Payne, I think, is a monster. It would be an awesome choice here. I don't know why he's getting as much. He's not getting as much love as he should. I think he's an awesome player, and it'd be nice to see him there in the middle, specifically if the Giants and the Redskins are picking running backs in their first picks. You need to really bolster that middle and make it hard. I mean, you look at the Eagles, right? And the teams that made it into the playoffs, the Vikings, the Jaguars, all had insanely good defensive lines. And so, yeah, this is definitely where I would go. If you have to go wide receiver, DJ Moore is still on the board. Let's go grab him. He's a better one. And the last option is to trade back. I mean, if you look at the players that are taken here, I mean, you still have Deron Payne doesn't even get picked in this guy's top 32 in the first round. So pulling back, taking him. If you want to take back, we have a left guard need. I would go left guard over a wide receiver, personally, right? But let's. I mean, our team is built around the run game, and then you pass. And so I think I would trade back to the Jaguars right here. Let them take whatever they want. Add an extra pick. Grab Isaiah Wynn, and let's keep playing. That would be my game. So. I think this is a really interesting mock draft. I think he gets a lot of things right. Obviously, it's a mock draft. No one freaking knows. I mean, we could have the Dolphins decide that they want to take Lamar Jackson. You could have the Bills or the Redskins decide that they want to take an offensive tackle or an offensive guard. You just don't know how the draft is going to fall out, and that's the best part, right? It is you just don't know what these teams want and what's going to happen. And so I think it's going to be a really interesting year. I think we should take a linebacker, a defensive tackle, or a safety in the first 2 rounds, honestly. But if you have to take a wide receiver, I think the second round at 50, Gallup and Miller are all 2 good options there. Although, again, I'd rather take a safety, Justin Reed, or is it Justin Bates? I think they're both Justins. I could be wrong. Let me know if I'm wrong in the comments. But here's the question. Who would you take? I mean, you're 19. You can see who's on the board. I'll leave the link to in the description below so you can go check out this mock draft. Yeah, guys, I'm hoping to do a couple more of these just to talk about like what potentially could come out and where we're at. All right, guys, so have a good one. See ya.